Hey guys, it's back with JohnyTechReview and I hope you guys are all doing well. I have been using this device from a company called VSD for about 2 months now. These are basically like a Stream Deck type of device. They sent me both units and I wanted to check them out. I picked these 2 units specifically. This one is like a numpad. It has some buttons, look like we have 15 buttons or so, and then we have 2 little additional buttons up top. These are screen buttons, and then of course you have the knob. And then on this device here, similar to my Elgato Stream Deck, this has 12 buttons. It's called the M18. And at the bottom there's also 3 physical buttons that you can press. You use those to go home, you can change page, you can program it to do basically anything. The top buttons here are very similar to the Stream Deck. You have a screen that you can program to do different things. So it's been a while. It's been over 2 months since I have these devices, and I've been using them on and off for my home setup. And I also give the small one for my kid to play around with. By default, one interesting to notice is that without any software running, this will default to a numpad and a calculator setup. But when you plug the software in, you can do a lot of different things with them. This device by default doesn't do anything. You do need to run the software in order to control it. So really my review is focusing on how is this device compared to something like the Elgato Stream Deck, because that device is about, I would say, 50% more expensive than this device. So first of all, one of the pain points that I notice as a user is when you use this device, you have to download the software. Software from the website, it works fine. However, the server is really slow. Maybe it's coming from China, etc. But it took me, I think the software was about 320 megs. It took me like 5 or 8 minutes to download your software. So hopefully they can improve this in the future. That is the first time when you set up the software, you don't really need an account, anything like that. You can start using it. And then after that, you just go to the website, which has a lot of different plugins and allow you to extend the product.
Alright guys, so this is the VSD Craft software. It looks very similar and close to the Stream Deck. As you can see, here you can actually select the Stream Deck. As an example, I have a Stream Deck also from Elgato. It's not plugged in right now, but here is the VSD, and this is the version that I have. It has the 12 buttons plus the 3 additional buttons at the bottoms, and then the LEDs. As of this moment right now, I asked the company the nice RGB control color. You cannot change that. It's just default to automatic rotating. Hopefully in the future firmware they can make that change to allow you to make those changes, but as of today you cannot do that. So here, just like Stream Deck, you can click on an icon right here and you can customize it. For example, you just want to take me to YouTube. This one take me to the latest video. It's a nice little plugin. This is my channel with the latest video. Of course, this is weather. I pick Atlanta as a moment, for example, time. And here's a nice little corner that I use as a paging indicator. And then these bottom button here, you can set them to do different things. For me, these just go back and forth between the page. That's what I currently set for. And then of course in here, just a process. Here are some options. Let me just click one of these. It's a pause and plays. On the right side, you have different options here. You can see you can have plugin also, and like example, the YouTube stickers, stock symbol, query, OBS control, operation. From my perspective, it's very similar to the Stream Deck from Elgato. You have a lot of different options. What I do notice is that compared to the Stream Deck has a lot of mainstream support for major application. So for example, I have TTT or something like Twitch. Yes, the application can be limited. As an example here on the right side, you also have different, I would say, page setup. So for me, I'm using one called Bow, but let me go here. Here's the last version I checked. So it looked like these are the notes for the updated. The lighting was one control, and then some note and bug fix. Alright, so here is the updated software. It didn't seem like it allowed me to do much for the control of the RGB. I mean, I do have the option to turn it up or change the brightness, but there's no actual option to adjust the different RGB mode. Let's click on this button here. There's a tutorial, and then here actually there's a button to go to the space, which we can get more content. So here is the tutorial page for some information, but here's the content. This is where you can get different plugins. So for example, let's just go to the smart screen. As you can see, the website is a little bit slow compared to the Stream Deck, but give you an idea here. So you have a lot of different software that support it. Let me go ahead and type in, for example, Twitch. Let's see what kind of control we have with Twitch. I'm not a Twitch user, but there it is. And of course, I think I saw this core earlier, which is something I actually use. And here are some options. One of the things that I use the Elgato Stream Deck for on my work PC is to actually control teams. So this is something I noticed that was missing here. Don't look like you have a lot of theme options, but there was a theme plugin that's really good for the Elgato. This is missing here. But again, if you're not using themes and you're using this for gaming and other purpose, I think you're going to be fine here.
So on the device, you have the screen itself. The screen underneath each of these buttons are really easy to see, and they're very programmable, just like the Stream Deck. You can change them to do basically anything, any GIF, any videos, and you can program them to do basically endless amount of things. Of course, you can extend that with plugin. We'll talk that in a second. At the bottom, there's also 3 dot button that you can use. I set them by default to flip the page and then to go home. And you can also set up to have different scene, which means involving different page, and different buttons can do different things. So of course you can have the scene, you can do a walk, a home scene, a play game, a streaming, and then each of those scenes can have multiple page. I don't know what the limit is, but I know you can go up to 9-10 page easily. You can just flip between them, and a page is just a page. In the back of the device, you have the show USB-C input, and then of course there's a stand that you can pop out like this, and your stand come out like this. And of course there's a little metal clip, and it goes into place and then lock into place. You have 2 different positions. Well, technically 3, I guess, if you're leaving it flat down like this, but those are your choices. On the other device, it's just flat. They sit on next to your, I guess, 10 keyless keyboard, and you can use it like that. There's no position or anything like that. USB-C port up top. So for my usage, the software works perfectly fine. Didn't have any issues with the software. This bigger device here does come with some nice edge lit RGB light. I asked the company, because I didn't see any option, if you can change the RGB to whatever different mode. Right now it's just on a rotating mode. I wanted to be able to change it to pulsating or whatever. There seem to be no options. In the recent software update, which I show later, seemed to indicate that there were some changes to some of the other version, but at least this version didn't do anything. For my usage, I use it for both work and home, and in my Stream Deck, for work, I have Teams, which I use for work, and there's functionality and plugin that enable me to do things like, unblur, blur the camera, mute, unmute, that kind of thing. And that plugin didn't exist on this device, for example. But for other people who's playing games, streaming, there's plenty of options for you to pick from. You can do things from Twitch, you can do Discord. There's hundreds and hundreds of plugins that's available, and people seem to be creating new one every day. So for the price, do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I think if you are just new to the space and you don't want to spend too much money on a Stream Deck, this is worth it. It's a little bit cheaper. You do get all the functionality. I would suggest to look into the functionality of this device to see if it serves your need first. If you use it for work, I suggest just go for the Elgato one, because it has a lot more official mainstream software updates, and that's something to consider also. As far as the numpad setup for the 10 keyless, I think this is really nice for people who wanted some additional functionality. Of course, it's not wireless, so you do have to plug it in. But yes, you get a similar amount of functionality in buttons. Of course, you can make the knob here to change page instead of doing volume up and volume down by default.
So here's an example setup I use for DaVinci Resolve. Play and pause, next clip, previous clip, trim, and pointer, cinema, go into full screen like this as I'm editing this video. And then of course here we have splitting audio, linking, magnetic, project setting, which take me to the project setting. Of course here I can also set up edit, fusion, color as an example. So edit, fusion, and deliver as an example. The volume knob here become my rotating scrub.
I think this unit with the knob actually give you a lot more flexibility in function, interestingly enough, for a smaller unit. It does come in different color. I just pick a white one here to match my kid white keyboard that he liked. But other than that, I say they both have their own pro and con, but I do like the smaller side of this device. So guys, that is my quick review of this VSDinsider device. They are very similar to the Elgato Stream Deck with very similar functionality and software. So I would say for the price, they're definitely worth giving it a try. However, Elgato, once in a while, have good deals, so look around to see if there's a deal on that. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick review. Please give this video a thumb up, as it will help me. Ask me any question you have in the comment box down below, and subscribe for more future content. Thank you.